Morning, good afternoon, good evening to a few of you. Welcome to today's community briefing. My name is Gregory Sneed, and we are glad you are here. Our guest for today is Joseph Duncan. He'll be joining us momentarily to share some great information on getting your business together and a lot of other fine tips that he is able to provide for his clients. Today is the 20th of April, and April is flying by. It seems like it was not too long ago that it was the 1st, and now it's the 20th. We are well into the second quarter of the year. And I don't know about you guys, but 2023 seems to be coming up pretty good comparison to what 3 years ago. Remember, Crystal, April of 2020, when we weren't sure what was going to happen. Are we going to live? So we're glad that those of us are here, and so welcome. So yeah, my name is Gregory Sneed, and the name of my company is Lifesaver Financial Services. I help my clients to keep more of the money they make, so that they feel better about their life, and I do that through life insurance solutions, annuities, personal financial coaching, and financial literacy training. Because I firmly believe that when you feel better about your money, you feel better about your life. Now, I want to welcome to the virtual stage the queen of our community briefing, Miss Crystal Mitchell.
Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you. This is the community briefing, as Greg said, and it's 3 years. We've been here 3 years, and the community briefing is an inspiration that I had during the pandemic, because I wanted to make sure that we were hearing information firsthand from those that were sitting at the table where decisions were being made for us, on behalf of us, but without our knowledge or actually our input. So now we invite those stakeholders and leaders to this platform to have those conversations, and hopefully you guys are reaching out to them once you meet them, because this is the whole purpose. This is a network place. They put their information in the chat room. You reach out to them. You make noises, because that's how we make changes in this world. We make noises, we use our voices, and we use the power of our connections to make that happen. I am Crystal Mitchell. I'm the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars. This platform is powered and sponsored by Recycling Black Dollars and the BBA, the Black Business Association. And it is your platform. It is here for us to support each other and each other's businesses and our community. We are so much more powerful in numbers than we are as singles. So we're here to close down our silos and to work as a one unit to get things done for our community. So we welcome you here. We have a powerful team, Mr. Gregory Sneed. I was going to call you Gregory Team. Gregory Sneed, myself, and Stephen Turner, and Ms. Robin Billups. She is actually getting ready to go into a clinical trial, another clinical trial. So prayers up, positive energy going out to Ms. Robin. She's doing fantastic, but we always want to keep her in high vibrations, and as well as everyone else. And congratulations, we have Vermont Slauson has a new president, so you guys I'm sure heard about that. So reach out to them. Quentin Strode is now the president over there. Crenshaw Chamber has a new president, J.C. Lacey. So reach out to them and support them. And just a lot of things going on in our community. So we want to stay connected. And we want to welcome everyone here, our regulars, as well as our new family members. And let's just keep this platform going. Please go over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. I will be putting a number of flyers in the chat room so that we can support each other. Please introduce yourselves in the chat room. You have any flyers or anything that you need our support on, please do the same thing. That's what this platform is for. So with that, I'm going to kick it back over to Greg. We have a great guest, Mr. Joseph Duncan. I've known Joseph since I actually first started when I was a member at Fame, when I was a very youngster many years ago.
Weren't we all?
You're still young.
Welcome, Joseph.
You're still young. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was thinking about how long I've known Greg. I'll let him introduce me.
Let me go back a bit too. We go back a bit
Yes,
too.
we do.
Yeah, that's for sure. So just a few housekeeping items. Most of you know by now that we appreciate you keeping on mute, particularly to eliminate the background noise and distractions. I would think at this stage everybody knows that, but helps to be a reminder. We do place priority on questions that are in the chat. So if you do have a question, place it in the chat, and if we have time left over, we will take questions from the floor. So Joseph Duncan, all right, he is a seasoned financial services professional. I did tease him about what kind of seasoning is it? Is it pepper?
Hot pepper.
Cayenne? Is
Hot pepper.
Hot pepper? Okay, so he's seasoned with hot pepper, but he's a seasoned financial services professional and business advisor for over 25 years of experience in the industry. He's currently the managing director of Assured Consultants, Inc., a company that's based in El Segundo, California, that specializes in providing solution-based services to small and medium-sized businesses. In addition to his work with Assured Consultants, Joseph serves as a core business advisor with PCR Business Finance. And in this role, he focuses on providing small business, finance, and general business coaching to help entrepreneurs grow their companies. Joseph is a native of Los Angeles. He attended the University of Laverne and UCLA, so most of the time he roots for the Bruins and the Lakers.
That too.
I don't know if you're a Clippers fan. Are you a Clippers fan?
Who?
Okay, so he has 2 adult children, and when he's not working, he enjoys sports, listening to music, reading, traveling, and cooking. And I'll add to that, he is my restaurateur tester. Joseph will be the first to check out a restaurant open. So if you open a new restaurant, especially in our community, Joseph is going to be there to check it out and give a review. And show pictures of the meal. So that's good. Let's see. With his extensive knowledge and experience in financial services, Joseph is passionate about helping small business owners and executives achieve their goals and realize their full potential. So without further delay, it's my pleasure to welcome to the virtual stage, Mr. Joseph Duncan.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you for that great introduction. Greg and I have been kind of playing back and forth these last few days. I have to say, I started thinking about it, and the 4 principles of this organization, actually all of whom I've known in some capacity for about 30 years, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I know I first met Greg in the 90s. That might not seem like 30 years ago, but it is. Crystal around the same time. Robin Billups, I've had Thanksgiving dinner at her house. That's another story for a different day. And Stephen, I don't know quite as well, but we met around that same time at First AME Church. So in a way, this is new, and in a way, it feels like Old Home Week. So I'm happy to be here, have a quick presentation that we'll run through. There should be plenty of time for questions, and hopefully you'll have some when we're done. So without further ado, let's get into the meat of it. They asked me if I would speak on the keys to business success. That's a pretty broad topic. I'm going to narrow it a little bit, but I thought I would start with a couple of quotes. And these are 2 that I like, and they kind of resonate around our office. The first one is, don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them. And that's, of course, Madam C.J. Walker. She happened to be the first Black woman millionaire in the United States. The second one is, the type of person you are is usually reflected in your business. To improve your business, first improve yourself. As we do the business that we do, that is one of our key focuses, is helping business owners and executives improve themselves so that they improve the output of their organizations. And I'll get into that a little bit more later. We're going to be talking a lot about entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship today. And this is sort of a working definition. An entrepreneur is a crazy person who risks their own money for freedom rather than exchanging their freedom for money.
Hey, Joseph,
Yes.
if you are intending to share your screen, we don't see it as of yet.
Oh, well. Okay. Let me go back to that.
Yeah, I think it's a two-step process. You guys share screen and then.
Yeah, let's do that. I know.
Sorry to interrupt, but I figured.
No, I'm glad you did, because there are slides, there's information, and I want
There you
people
go.
to see
Yep.
it.
And then if you hit start slideshow up at the top there.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're where we want to be. Okay. Because of the focus of this organization, I thought I would give some statistics about African-owned businesses. In the United States, as of 2020, which was the most recent data we have, 3% of businesses in the US were African-American owned. As you can see in the graph on the right, that lags behind pretty much every other group of significance in the country. So we've got a long way to go. As of 2020, African-American owned businesses were accounting for almost 141 billion in revenue and a little over 141,000 businesses. So there's room. There's a lot of room for growth. The primary
that's legal businesses, right?
that is legal businesses. I don't believe that those statistics take into account cannabis businesses where those are legal, and it certainly doesn't take into account street hustle. The primary businesses that African Americans own are healthcare and social assistance. You'll also see some areas where we lag that are big growth areas: transportation, construction, finance were almost non-existent. Tech, we're beginning to play a little bit, but again, there are a lot of areas for growth. Wholesale trade, not much. By the way, this data comes from the Pew Research Center, and it's data as of February the 21st, but keep in mind it was drawn from the 2020 census. Where we play, surprisingly enough, or maybe not surprising at all, African-American owned businesses predominate in the South and also in DC and Maryland. If you look at where we're located in California, and I know there are people on this call from other places, but the majority are in California, we're less than 3% of the businesses in California as of 2020. Then if you look at what we call the flyover country, we're less than 1% in most of those areas. And that doesn't come as a great surprise. Also Alaska, not much in Hawaii either. I like to focus on California. That's where the majority of our clients are. That's the market that we're most familiar with. And keeping in mind that California, depending on who you ask, is either the 6th or the 9th largest economy in the world. That is a huge opportunity for growth. And we're doing what we can to help people in those areas. Speaking of the keys to business success, one of the first things is your mission. It's really important to know what you have, what you're doing, where you're going, and why. And the why is something that we focus on a lot, particularly with entrepreneurs, because when adversity comes, it's important to remember why you started, and that might be the motivation to keep going, because unfortunately, adversity will come. The second step is planning. A lot of people think that a business plan is an academic exercise. I need to write this business plan because an investor wanted it or a lender wanted it. But your business plan should actually be a roadmap for the managers of the business. It's something you should check back in periodically and potentially revise as the situation presents. It should never be something that you write once, put in a drawer, and never look at again. Because again, you want to make sure that you're on the track that you started on. And if that track needs to be revised, you make the appropriate revisions. One of the next keys is capital. We've probably all read the statistic that most new businesses fail in the first 5 years. And the overwhelming majority of those businesses fail because they had insufficient capital. That is an area that we focus on. I'll talk a lot more about that later. As a team, we're a bunch of recovering bankers, so we think we know something about helping businesses get and properly use capital, and that's a big focus for our efforts. One of the next keys is management. Sometimes the founder isn't the appropriate manager, and it's time to bring in someone else with a different set of skills and expertise. That can be a difficult call. Most people are resistant to change. And if I built it, I feel like I own it and I should be running it. That's not necessarily the case. That's why sometimes outside counsel can be valuable. You also have to have proper controls in place. As the business grows, more people become involved. You want to make sure that you're still delivering on your same goals and objectives, and that the level of service doesn't decrease because new people are involved. Proper controls can assist with that, as well as staff development. That's an ongoing process. Most people hire someone, there's a fairly intense training program and maybe a probationary period in the beginning, and they think, okay, we're all good. But development should never end, both for the owner and for the people that work in the business. That's an ongoing process. You need to have clarity and insight. You need to know where you're going, where you've been, and what you're going to need to get there. Obviously, expertise is important. Mentorship is something that particularly small and minority-owned businesses often don't take enough advantage of. There is very much in our community a go-it-alone type of mentality that occurs. Some of that's understandable. It's hard to trust someone that wasn't, quote unquote, shooting with you in the gym. But a mentor, someone who's been over that road that you're traveling, can be very beneficial. Also, when you bring in outside people that are not involved in the day-to-day and possibly can see the forest from the trees, you get a fresh perspective. Another pair of eyes who look at things and can provide you some different sets of information. Best practices are important. There are, whatever you're doing, other people doing it as well. Almost none of us are reinventing the wheel. So it's worth it to try to learn what's going on in your industry outside of your four walls or your desktop or laptop or however you're operating your business, so that you're using the best practices that are available in your industry. That can also help you mitigate risks. If other people have done it, you can learn from their mistakes and perhaps you don't have to make the same ones on your own. That can prevent errors in a lot of ways. It's important, again, most businesses are running on fairly lean margins. A big mistake, a lawsuit, a costly recall or something of that nature can be a death knell for a small business, so you want to avoid that. We also encourage people to network, which we're all doing here. So I know that that is near and dear to your hearts. That's why we're here. That's why we join organizations like this and participate, is because we can learn and share and assist one another to help all of our businesses grow and thrive. That's an opportunity to grow knowledge and expertise. It leads to better decision making in many cases, and also better long-term outcomes. I want to talk a little bit about our company and what our mission is. Allow me just a second. Assured Consultants' mission is to bridge the gap for undercapitalized and under-resourced small and minority businesses. World-class business advice can be a crucial factor in the success of a business, and it is often difficult for a smaller business to access such resources. There are several ways which we work towards achieving our mission. One approach is to provide tailored business advice and support services to small and minority businesses, considering their unique challenges and needs. This can include assistance with business planning, financial management, marketing strategies, and other areas that are critical for success. Another approach is to connect small and minority businesses with mentors and experts in their industries. This can provide valuable insights and guidance from experienced professionals who have faced similar challenges and overcome them successfully. Assured Consultants also works towards creating partnerships and collaborations with other organizations and stakeholders in the business community. By building relationships and networks, we increase our impact and reach and help create a more supportive and inclusive ecosystem for small and minority businesses. Overall, Assured Consultants' mission is an important one, and there are many ways in which we make a difference in the lives of small and minority business owners. By providing targeted support, building relationships and networking, and advocating for the needs of those businesses, we can help level the playing field and create more opportunities for success. We were founded in 2016. We are, as I mentioned earlier, a team of recovering bankers who are looking for a better way to make a difference. Since our founding, we believe we've made a significant impact on the small business community by providing support and expertise to business owners seeking advice. To date, we've helped over 300 businesses succeed by providing them with the information they need to grow and thrive. This success can be attributed to several factors. One of the key elements of our approach is the way we focus on the needs of the client. We understand that every business is unique, and as such, we provide tailored solutions that are designed to meet the specific needs of that business. This approach has helped us build strong relationships with our clients, as they know that they can rely upon us to provide them with the support they need to achieve their goals. Another factor that has contributed to our success is our team. We have experienced professionals who are knowledgeable about various facets of the business landscape. We have the expertise to guide clients through the process of obtaining funding, from identifying the right funding sources to preparing the necessary documentation. This has helped Assured Consultants build a reputation as a trusted partner for business owners seeking funding. We believe our success can also be attributed to an innovative approach to business planning and strategy. The company has developed a range of solutions that are designed to meet the diverse needs of our clients, and our approach has enabled Assured Consultants to help businesses of all sizes and types, from startups to established enterprises. A little bit about what we do. We do founder owner coaching, business formation, business plans, access to capital. We can assist with branding, marketing plans, sales strategy. We work heavily with minority business enterprise and women business enterprise certification, as well as 8A and HubZone certification. A little bit about our process. It's sort of a cycle. We start with a goal, move to desired outcomes, strategies, measure how we did, look at the results and how we can improve, and then start with a new goal. And with that, I'll open it up for questions. Thank you for your time and attention, and glad to be here. Happy to answer anything that we might be able to.
Thank you, Joseph. A couple of quick questions from your consultation with businesses. Can you think of maybe 2 or 3 things that they're really doing very well? In other words, there's some successes, things that you find that overall, when they come to you, they're in a good space. And then on the flip side, what are maybe 2 or 3 things that are word I'm looking for. Maybe deficient or not as strong in that regard.
The things that most people that we work with start off doing really well is they have a sense of purpose. They have their mission. They know what it is they want to do. They may not be 100% sure how to get there, but they start off with a sense of purpose. Most of them have either a product or service idea that they've refined in some way. I tell the story about, if you want to be a baker, make sure you can bake good cookies. Most of our clients that come to us have at least worked out how to bake the cookies. They might not know how to price the cookies. They might not know how to track the money coming in and the costs and things of that nature. They probably don't have any idea about what type of structure or formation might be the most appropriate one. But in most cases, they come to us with the germ of an idea. And in many cases, they're up and running and have been running for some time and are looking for strategies to grow and scale, which we absolutely can help with as well.
Cool. And then are there particular industries? I know you probably cover a wide variety, but what are the industries that you tend to see more often, and where are the industries that you would like to see or that you would strive to participate in?
I would take it back to that slide we were looking at, where we looked at particularly what minorities businesses are doing. I would like to see more work in the financial area. I'd like to see more work in construction, which is a huge industry now. There was just recently a $1 trillion infrastructure bill passed, so there's going to be a lot of money available to be made for businesses that can assist in that. Also, logistics and transportation would be another one that we don't see a lot. What we do see a lot are service businesses, retail establishments, be that food service or clothing establishments. We see a lot of in the personal care area, beauty shops, barber shops, beauty supply stores, those types of things that are typically seen quite often in our community, and a lot of food service business.
Which ones tend to have the better margin? Food service is probably very, very narrow margins these days.
Food service is a narrow margin. Construction has probably the best margin, and followed up very closely by financial services.
Cool. Crystal, have you been checking chat? I didn't. I was so busy listening to Joseph, I wasn't checking the chat here.
No, not. I had a couple questions.
Okay.
But first off, just thank you for this, because I'm a coach, and a lot of times when I'm coaching clients, we think a lot of my clients are, they have great business ideas, as you say, and we tend to stay in that service-based business, but we think very small. We can be in the service-based business, but we can think franchise, right? Or we can think much bigger. We think just enough to cover our monthly bills, but we never think bigger. I'm always telling, I teach kids how to be entrepreneurs, and I'm always telling them, we're not thinking just enough. If you can make $60,000 as an entrepreneur, you can make $75,000 or $80,000 working for a corporation, right? And not have the headaches of running a business, right? So when you guys are coaching, how or any of us that are coaches, how do we get us? Because one of the things that is really frustrating me right now is these numbers. I cannot take, I'm really having a hard time with us being on the bottom of everything, right? We're fighting, but I'm struggling with being 3% on the bottom of everything, right? I'm really having a hard time. How do we get up above that 3%? I know as a business coach and a financial accountant and all that, you got to get the money up, man. So how do we do that?
Well, Crystal, you've probably seen this as well. One of the biggest challenges we have is so many of our business owners don't even know where they are financially.
Yes.
They know money came in, they know what their bank balance is, but they have no idea, and often much too often, don't do any type of financial tracking to know, where am I? What are my margins? What are my costs? Um, what at what is my pricing? Is my pricing appropriate for the marketplace? And as I look to scale my business, can I afford to do it and hire enough people? We talk a lot about government contracting, and most people want to get into government contracting for the same reason people rob banks. That's where the money is. But that's not going to help you if you're biting off more than you can chew, if your bid has been so low that your margins don't support what you're doing, and you find yourself unable to perform on the contract. So there's a lot of preparation and strategy that needs to go into what we're doing. The other thing that I think we need to do, and I'm really encouraged that you have the Young Entrepreneurs Program that you're working with, is for too long and for too often, and I'll hold up my hand, I was one of those people. We went to school, we got various degrees and this and that and the other, and the first thought that we had was not, how do I open up a business that can sustain me and potentially build generational wealth? Our first thought is, how can I get a company to hire me so that I have a salary and some benefits, and I'll be good there for as long as they'll have me? And so part of getting out of that 3% number is a change in mindset. I do see that a lot with younger generations. I have friends who teach high school students. My son is a high school teacher. They find that young folks are trying to figure out how they can build an app, how they can monetize their TikTok, how they can build something of their own. They're a lot less oriented than our generation was to how can I get a job working for someone else. So I think we're trending in the right direction. I just feel like we have a long way to go.
I quite agree. There's a question here from this question is from Alan. Construction and logistics are a very capital intensive industry. What are some of the ways minority owned businesses can grow in these areas? I definitely know logistics and transportation is a big one. I have a client a couple of years ago, just before the pandemic. She jumped into she learned it on the fly, man. This young lady was an administrator. She was an administrative assistant. She realized that being into logistics was the transportation. She made $3 million the first year out. So definitely she put her faith out there. She didn't even have a whole lot of capital. First year she made $3 million. And I have another young 27-year-old made $300,000 last year in 10 months doing a cleaning service. So go ahead, Joseph.
I'm going to take those two separately because transportation is one thing, construction is kind of different. If one wants to get into construction, one of the best ways is to work as a subcontractor on a limited basis where maybe you do drywall and that's what you do. And you work with a general contractor who may have a much bigger project, but they're going to bring you in to do the drywall. Particularly for minority businesses, that's a good way to get past the barrier to entry, because many of these contracts, if not all, have a D&I spend requirement where contractors are looking for minority contractors to partner with so that they can bid on these contracts and cover their minority participation goals or their woman-owned participation goals. So perhaps one can start on a small basis and grow their business in that way. And we have advised some people who are doing just that. In transportation, surprisingly enough, one of the most high demand industries right now is trucking. And one can buy a truck for a relatively small amount of money. If you're driving a Tesla, you could be driving a tractor trailer for about that same amount of money. And there are a lot of loan programs. There's a state guarantee program, there's an SBA program that you might be able to take advantage of to fund the purchase of that first truck. Once you get that first truck, you hit the road. It's a high demand industry. You can eventually scale that up to where you have a trucking company, and now you have multiple trucks on the road, and you're hiring drivers, and perhaps you're not even driving anymore. I have one client who no longer drives at all, just manages the trucking company and hires other drivers. So the barriers to those entries are probably not as high as people think. It does require some capital, but there are programs available where one can acquire that capital, particularly if you can get your documentation and your credit in order. And that is something that we advise people on all day, every day.
Awesome. Thank you, Joseph. And I'm going to come back to PCR because they have and I know you're consulting with them, but before I do that, because I know they have a credit consulting person over at PCR, but let me ask Tia first, and then we'll come back and have you talk on that. Colette's not here today, so you're going to be the field correspondent for PCR today.
Okay.
Tia, you had a question?
I do. Thank you so much. And thank you, Joseph, for your presentation. So I'm one of those people you were speaking about that have like the small women-owned business, and it really is a service-owned business. I mean, a service providing business. I'm a registered nurse by trade. And what I started was a nonprofit 501c that focuses on delivering education to our youth about nursing and what it is, because we need more diversity in the healthcare industry, specifically around nursing. And so going into schools and community areas where we can catch them from 4th grade and up. And so the service I'm providing is not really something that I've figured out how to monetize on it. You know, grant funding is wonderful for this type of program, but how do you work with companies like mine that are trying to figure out another way to monetize this particular service? Because it really is for the community. It really is to educate the youth. It really is to change the face of nursing. And I really haven't figured out a way where it could be a little different. I still want to keep that part of it, but another way where I can monetize off of that service. So I know I said a lot, but you know what I'm getting at.
I think I do, and I
Okay.
would be happy to discuss that with you further. We should probably do that offline.
Okay.
I put my contact information in the chat, and I'll probably put it up one more time before we're done. Feel free to reach out to us, and let's have a consultation and see if there's some ways that we can help you.
Well, thank you for that, because I often feel like, oh, well, yeah, you know, companies are small, it's a little side thing. There's really not, these organizations aren't really looking to support and help that type of business. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But Tia, I want to address that. So nobody's business is too small, especially if we're talking about children, because we have to work toward helping our children on the right directions. Their school counseling systems do not do that. So Yolanda is here. She can tell you that. There are so many of us that are working in addition to our regular businesses out there supporting kids. So whatever you're doing in the space of kids is not small, it's huge. And so I love the fact that you're thinking, maybe I need some help, and we all need help because we cannot continue to work alone. So I applaud you reaching out to Joseph, and we all need mentors. We can't do this by ourselves, and investing in others to help us grow our businesses is how we do change this perspective. There's a couple other questions here that I want to get to, and then Stephen, I'll get to you. Next one is, let's see, there was a question here. Melissa, I find many small business owners have accountants or contract financial planners, but often in our community, we believe we have to do it all. Any advice on segueing Black business owners to begin bringing in proper support with their financials, Joseph? And if you can't answer that in all completely, I can.
It's something that we stress constantly. I personally am always looking for particularly minority and women accountants and financial people, because many businesses do feel like they can do it all on their own. We know they can't. So if they're working with us, one of the things that's going to be beamed at them is you need experts. You need an attorney. You don't need an attorney on retainer, but you need an attorney that you have a relationship with so that when something happens, note I didn't say if, when something happens, you have someone that you can call. We also stress the need for financial tracking. Most people that operate small businesses, and Crystal, I bet you've seen this too, they do financial tracking once a year. Guess when?
Tax season.
Tax season. If you're operating a business, you need to know what you're doing monthly, if not weekly. Daily would be better, but that's beyond most people's depth. So we stress that on a constant basis. It is a constant effort because it goes against a mindset that some people have that they don't really want to deal with their numbers. Our social media, we beam that out quite often. That if you don't know your numbers, you don't really know your business. And we stress the need for expert assistance. I don't know what else to do except maybe beat them over the head. And I think that's a felony in some places. But that's really what it comes down to. We've got to change a mindset. Change is difficult, but we are very persistent about it and do what we can to make that work.
And I actually teach QuickBooks for the Los Angeles Urban League. I teach QuickBooks. I do a workshop. In fact, I got a class on May 3rd with the new Women's Business Center, absolutely free. But for the Urban League, I will teach you individually. I teach QuickBooks for Vermont Slauson. So, and I teach you how to use it. And they're online platforms. QuickBooks is a cost point product, but there's another product out there called Wave that is absolutely free. So there's really no excuses. If you want to know how to do it, that we have organized during the pandemic, that was the one area where all monies went to, is to make sure that you guys got your financials done. I have been so busy that I am at this point turning business away because folks have been all over this. And so if that's something you guys are interested in, then reach out to the Urban League or reach out to me and I'll give you the information. But go over to the New Women's Business Center and sign up for a free class. I do that class every month for them. I teach classes, like I said, for most of the organizations here in the city, because that's something that, as Joseph says, you can't even get past point 2. To get to point 3 until you get that, because you have those financials done. So that's that. Next thing is, yes.
Before you move on to that, I need to, this is point of personal privilege. Do you have enough bandwidth to take on more people in QuickBooks?
Actually, what I like to do is, so this is something that I probably need to pass on to Colette or any, I'd like to teach other bookkeepers how to do what I do. And then being able to send out a team of folks out there to be able to help our community. But I do think it's important that business owners know how to do their books first, so that they then know how to instruct a bookkeeper how to do their own books, because I've come in and I've charged a whole lot of money to fix a lot of stuff that people have sent out to other bookkeepers that didn't know what to do, because the people didn't know how to tell them what to do or what they were supposed to look for.
I know for a fact that PCR is looking for someone who can do what you do. So I'll just leave that right there.
Okay, so if I can teach a whole crew of people how to do it. I got a number of people that I've taught over the years, and so I passed my information off. I passed my clients off to them, and they've been taught well, and so they're very accomplished. But I do teach I do teach business owners how to do it first, and so then they'll better equipped at hiring a bookkeeper to take care of their books. So very important. So here's the next question, and then Stephen, I'll come back over to you. Armand, Joseph, what about directing more people to becoming entrepreneurs in the digital space? Very low barrier to entry and extremely attractive upside potential. You definitely want to speak to Armand. He has an amazing concept over there with making money online, e-commerce, and the many ways he knows the secrets of how people make millions of dollars. And I've seen it happen. I know him personally, how it happens. And so how other people are out there making money online, and the entry is very low. And if you have some writing skills, and now you don't even have to have that, you got something called AI, they can write the blog for you. All you have to do is just verify that is real, that is not plagiarized. So that's the way.
Armand, I like that idea. I have to tell you that we as a firm don't direct people into what type of business they should be in. They need to come to us with their idea in place. But I do like the concept of stressing that more in our community, and I hope there are folks out there doing that. That's not something that we do.
Okay, Stephen.
Three points. Number one, Joseph, to grow your consulting firm, what skill sets are you looking to bring on board? And then I get to my second point.
That is a really good question. We typically are not looking to bring on any other people. However, we do refer business out to people that have certain expertise. I have a gentleman I've known for years who's fabulous at process improvement. So if we run into the need for process improvement, we'll subcontract with him. Sounds like I'm going to be subcontracting with Crystal. She just doesn't know it yet. That's kind of the place we are. We're not looking to grow our head count, but we are looking for people that we can partner with. And if we run into opportunities, it's good to know what skill sets are out there so that we can bring, those to bear for our clients when they need it.
And the second to last one, Jonathan put it in the chat. Crystal, given your dilemma, the solution is to hire. And would that be the appropriate remedy, Crystal and Joseph, given what Crystal shared with you, Joseph?
Oh, I think she's on that track because she said she's going to train a bunch of people. I don't know if she wants to manage people. That's a whole different animal, but it might make sense to train people and then maybe take a little override on business that you refer their way. I don't know how you want to do that, Chris.
That's exactly how I want to do that.
Right. The last point I want to make, and I kind of serving it up, necessarily in this order, we have a number of our future speakers on this line. Deborah A. Hunter, Alan Perry, Tia Delaney Stewart, and Joseph. For 30 seconds of no more than 1 minute, can you tell us a little bit about your particular segment, your date, your subject matter? Deborah.
Off mute.
So my chat next week, I'm going to talk about my business a little bit, but a very little bit. I sit as a member of the NABA Los Angeles Board of Directors, and my area of expertise is advocacy, which is not related to what I do from a business standpoint. But I've made some observations about where we're headed as a society and things that are should be a particular concern to Black people, specifically how we are losing ground. In the last 10 years, Black women have gone from earning 68 cents on the white man's dollar to 55 cents, which is a dramatic drop. And so we've been thinking about how do we organize and move forward so that before we've got to raise that as an issue at the federal level, we start to address it at the local level. So, and some other notes.
I like that conversation.
Right. May 4th, Mr. Perry. Alan, you have to
Stephen?
go.
Stephen?
Yes.
Yeah, May 4th. Well,
Yes.
we're doing a presentation basically on the mortgage industry, how to get housing finance, how do we increase home ownership amongst Black folks, particularly walking through the whole underwriting process, taking a look at what's important in underwriting, what do the lenders look for, number one. Number two, different loan programs that are available, both state-sponsored and privately sponsored, a lot of zero down, 100% financing opportunities. And then thirdly, just simply kind of going over the different products that are available. I think, unfortunately, a lot of us don't realize what are the loan products out there that will help you either buy that home to live in, refinance your home, or if you're looking for investment property. So those are some of the topics we'll be covering on May 4th.
And then also we have on May 11th, Tia.
Yes, hi everyone. On May 11th, I am Tia Delaney Stewart, and I'm the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Alzheimer's Association California Southland chapter. And so what I'll be discussing is Alzheimer's disease, but how it relates to the Black community and how we can work together to change that narrative. Because as Crystal said, tired of being in that risk population, tired of being in the population where all diseases affect us the most. African Americans are affected by Alzheimer's disease twice as much than any other population, and women make up 2/3 of the Alzheimer's and dementia population, and not because we live longer, but because of other related risk factors. My goal and my role is to educate us and our community on how we can make that difference. Risk factors that aren't spoken about, and stress and environmental risk factors that are real to our community, and those lifestyle changes that we can make and sometimes can't make because it's not easy to get up and move from the concrete jungle. And that can be affecting us and increasing our risk for Alzheimer's disease. And the last part of it is how we can ensure that resources that are available through the state of California are actually allocated to the communities that need them. There are a lot of programs that I'm aware of and we're aware of at the Alzheimer's Association that benefit those in the community that need it the most, but that information never gets to the communities of need. And I'm only one person and we're trying to do the best we can, but I think together we can make a huge difference. And so those will be some of the things I'm talking about, and I'll be also available to answer questions related to support services, how we can help caregivers in our community, and some other projects that we have coming down the pipeline.
Great. And we have these speakers again, the 27th of April, May 4th, and May 11th. And also on May 18th, the community briefing will be part of the Crenshaw Quarter Symposium. It'll be a live event that'll be held at the Chase Bank Community Center on the 18th of May.
Awesome. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Back to you, Gregory.
Yeah, thanks. A couple things. One is, mention about if people are hiring. Well, the only way that we're going to improve that 3% is by getting people in business. So I think, Crystal, hiring somebody would be secondary to empowering somebody to be in business for themselves, to create their own business so they can, do scale. Hiring people also has its cost, and there are certain businesses where it makes sense to really bring somebody on board as an employee, because now you've got certain employee-related expenses that have gotten very expensive, healthcare and what have you. So it makes it challenging to really bring somebody on board. But I think to help that statistic, and I think, Jonathan, you reached out. What's this 3% they talking about? In order to move that needle, move that forward, we have to empower people to get into business. And so that's one of the things that PCR and people like Joseph, as a business consultant, can ease that process. You want to be in business, right? You've got an idea, you've got some momentum going. Well, now let me provide you with some information, some guidance on how to make that happen, how to avoid some of the dangers and pitfalls that business owners make early on in not, estimating certain costs or looking at margins or looking at the way things happen. So that's very, very important. And then Tia, I look forward to hearing your thing. My mom had Alzheimer's, and so I very intimately aware of what it is and the difference. There's 7 stages. There's also the early onset and late onset Alzheimer's, and the symptoms are very different. So I certainly look forward to hearing your perspective there, because it's, when we were, generations ago, we didn't live long enough for the Alzheimer's kind of to kick in, the early onset. And I used to call it what, senility or senile, or there were different words that were used. As we living longer, the chances of that happening are increasing. And then I'm also, I sell long-term care insurance. So I have to, every 2 years, I've got to study the different impairments and cognitive impairments, So it's definitely something impacting our community, and we look forward to you bringing some great information to us on that.
Awesome. And I think she should connect with Butch Grimes, because he's got a publication and very much involved with the Alzheimer's Association, as well as Starlet Quarles. She's very much involved because both of them have parents that are they're taken care of right now in that space. So if you don't know them, I say reach out to them. You can find them both on LinkedIn and on social media, or reach out to either any of us. We know them as well, Tia. And you should also reach out to Booker Ted Booker, because he just talked about some internships and some other resources that are available for the medical healthcare industry. This is a network, guys. That's what we're supposed to be doing here, right?
Right. I wanted to say I do a lot of work in the community with Starlet. I actually adore her.
Yes.
She's moderated a few programs I've put on in the African American community, and we're actually going to an event together tomorrow. Who was the first person that you mentioned, though? I missed that part.
Butch Grimes.
Oh, and I absolutely adore Butch Grimes. So he was one of the first people that I met about 6 years ago when I first got into the Alzheimer's space, before I even worked for the association. But just as a nurse, I needed someone that understood this disease in our community. And he was one of the first people that reached out to me to talk about his organization he started for his mom. So yes, those two are pioneers in this community when it comes to Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So thank you for that, Crystal.
Yeah, there you go. So both of those they're amazing in that space. So here's the thing with the bookkeeping piece. I got in, I went to school for accounting, but I actually got into the financial industry just like Greg, just like Joseph, and a number of other people who were into the financial industry. In the first, in 2000, whenever that first savings and loan crash that we had, and I was selling insurance products and all that sort of stuff, and my commission started to I started losing money rapidly. I had to go into an industry that I knew was recession proof. So bookkeeping was that industry, because I knew no matter what the heck happened in the financial world, I could always make money on the side being a bookkeeper. That's why I went into that industry. So it's a very lucrative industry if you work it that way. So Joseph, yeah, it's to it's to teach and educate and help bookkeepers learn how to start their own business, and then I take a piece of it. I'm not managing, hiring, doing none of that sort of stuff. I don't have the bandwidth for that. But I have a whole lot.
So you got it for free.
Right. I went to fame. I know how to do this stuff.
Exactly.
During the Renaissance time. So that's what I'm doing. So, but that's not where I am now. But it has been very good to me. And so that's the way I'm going to do this. But we need it in our community. Because here's the thing, guys. This is a very sad statement. I am basically the only QuickBooks specialist in the Black community. That's a sad thing to say. I am the only one that all the organizations reach out to. So that is the sad thing to say. I need to duplicate me, because as much as I love all the love, it's not enough for all the communities, all the businesses in this community, because we know that is our weak point right now. So we need to duplicate us, because Emma knows this because she was with the SBA. Joseph knows this, Greg knows this, Stephen knows this. The one that puts us out of the ball game is the fact that we financially are not ready. Our financial structure is whack. So we have to fix that. So that's it. And that's all I have to say.
It's amazing how many people got caught up on their books 2-3 years ago when all this PPP money was coming out, and you had to file tax returns and statements, and they needed to see that. And I guess that's what got me started here. Is Crystal brought me on as a PPP expert for a couple of weeks when it was crazy and the everything was changing daily. I mean, the SBA was issuing changes daily.
Daily. I've been so busy I can't even think straight. So
and now I'm still here.
You're still here. So that's that. So there are a number of flyers in the chat, guys. Check it out. I'm teaching some classes on cash flow and bookkeeping compliance and all kinds of stuff. The RBD is having us in May. We're having a class on how to stop doing business and instead running your business. That's our next area where we have to stop wearing all the hats. Joseph knows this as well.
You know, phrase we use, you shouldn't be working in your business, you should be working on your business.
Your business, right? So we need to stop doing that. We have to learn how to delegate. I told a client last week, you've been doing this for 20 years. I think it's okay for you to start trusting other people to run your business, and you can work on your business. We can let go. You can truly let go. So this has been a great session. Joseph, you are awesome. And
For having me.
yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you everyone else for being here. Hey, Amini, how are you? Good to see you. Guys, I got kids that are competing again this Saturday. My kids just tore it up last week. I had 4 of them that competed, and then they submitted their videos, and so now they're on their way to the regionals. All 4 of them were submitted and accepted into the regional Nifty competition. And then if they get to the regional, they'll go to the national. So we're hoping they get to the nationals. That's $10,000. And if they get to the nationals, then they get to go to the world. So they'll be competing with youth entrepreneurs around the world. So that'll be 20 grand. So let's cheer them on. You guys in the chat, we got our Biz Camp program kicking up in June and July. I need some paid interns, young college students between the ages of 20, probably college, 20 to 25 that is paid. We need them like yesterday. So if you guys have any young college students that's looking for a paid internship with the Los Angeles Urban League for Biz Camp, can you please send them over to me? They can send a resume to Rhonda. The information's on that flyer. We also need kids, so it's a free program. All the details there. This is not a biz camp that the parents have to pay for. We pay the parents to send their kids to us. How can you beat that? And on top of that, the kids can compete for money. You can't go no. How can you go wrong? We're teaching kids how to create business and how to realize how their value and for the time that they're going to spend with us is valuable. So we're going to even pay them for being there for us. So can't get no better than that, right? So we want to thank Joseph, Stephen, for being who he is, and all our upcoming guests. So it's 12 o'clock, and we want to thank you all for joining us again. And we will see you next Thursday at the same bat channel, Greg.
That's it. 11 o'clock.
And go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe. And
has everybody here subscribed? Raise your hand if you haven't.
Crystal.
Yes, ma'am.
Please make sure people come to our very first math summit next Saturday.
Yes, guys.
Need to learn math. And you've got teachers and educators and parents who are math phobic. And we're having them all in one place with the greatest speakers and professors. Everybody who's training them will be Black professors with PhD. Students come for free. Adults pay. So I hope to see some of you there. It's a one-day event. And of course, Crystal's tennis lessons. We're now up to 15 students. We take to her on Saturday mornings at Jackie Tatum Park. Please.
Awesome. Oh, and we're happy. We just got a grant from Liz for $100,000 for our tennis program. So we are on top of the moon. Yep. So
congratulations, Crystal. I'll be bringing them to the biz program where you're going to pay me, right? I'm bringing you to the tennis program where you can pay me for that too. We got to circulate this, recycle this black dollar. I love it.
All righty, guys.
Congratulations, Mitchell.
Thank you.
Crystal,
yes.
This is Omni.
Hey.
Great to see you guys. Great to see everyone. And I just wanted to say you guys are doing a great job in the community. So appreciative of everything you all are doing through this community briefings that you have every Thursday. I try to make it.
I
But I'm
know.
here today. But I just want to say, being one of the board of directors for National Association for Minority Contractors, we are having women's tea annual. This would be the second year that we're having it. This Saturday, it's going to be located in Torrance from 3 to 6 o'clock. There'll be some dignitaries there, $65 for a ticket. We're actually giving 4 scholarships to 4 young college students and high school students that are going into STEM, into the engineering and construction and architecture industry. So hopefully we'll see you guys there this Saturday. I'll forward it to you if you can share it with others. That'd be great.
Awesome. And how many Emma is looking for somebody to demo a rental property. You know anyone? You can reach
I'm
out
sure.
to Emma.
Sure,
You have
Joe.
Emma. You have
Okay.
Emma's number.
Oh, of course. Hi, Emma.
I think she just popped off, but she just popped it in the chat before she left. So you can reach out to
Okay.
her.
She's
Any
still
other
there.
I will.
construction people?
Still here. Thank
She's
you.
still there.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello,
Good to
Emma.
see you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Amini. Love you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Blessings
Love
to
you.
you.
Good to see you.
Good to
And
see you too,
Joseph,
sir.